All we talked to the players about all spring was not wanting to stop here, wanting to, work hard to try to do even better than we did last season. I think it's probably the most pressure that we felt, as a team. It wasn't because of outside people putting pressure on us, but our own pressure of wanting to do well.
From every game, there's something you can learn. And I guess that's the goal, to work on our, not even mistakes, but on what we can improve. If we do that, there's a big chance that we will reach our goal.
All right, Field Hockey 101. Let's start with the main tool here. So the stick is an interesting tool that's not really like any other sport. We've got a flat side on one side of the stick and the other side is a rounded side, and you're only allowed to use this flat surface. So a lot of the skills, it requires to have the stick turning in your hand, so you can only touch with that flat side. You can use the inside blade. This is a really technical skill when you're reverse hitting. We do wear a lot of protective gear, but not as much as you would imagine. We do have shin guards. There's a playing shoe that, depending on what surface you're playing on, there's a turf shoe. A cleat for the high school level if you're playing on grass. Some players do wear a glove over their hand to protect their knuckles when they're in really strong and low tackles on the ground. A mouthpiece definitely needed. Goalkeepers are in full padded gears, foam from their toes to their head. They wear a helmet and a face mask. And the ball can hit anywhere on a goalkeeper's body. So the ball is very hard. There's actually two types of balls, and it's dependent on what surface that you're playing on. So the dimpled ball actually looks like a blown up golf ball. It creates for a very smooth traveling on a watered surface. It stays very true to the turf, and it's very quick to touch. We actually get a ton of questions about surfaces and when on the turf and when we're watering the artificial surface, people always think that is mind-blowing. So we do water our field, and it's not going to grow. It's strictly for the speed of the game to stay high, and when you do fall on it, you don't tear up your skin. So some basic field hockey rules is one, you definitely cannot use your feet. So for beginner field hockey viewers, you feel like there's a lot of whistles in the game, but you're never allowed to use your feet or your body with the ball unless you're the goalie. You can never shield the ball, so each defender and attacker should have an equal opportunity to the ball. A corner is probably the most exciting part of a game for Field Hockey 101 watchers. You are only allowed in field hockey to score in the attacking circle. So there's a 16-yard half circle on each baseline of the court. And the attacking team, if they gain a foul inside their attacking circle, they get an advantageous play where there's anywhere from 6 to 8 attackers on the outside of the circle, and then the defenders stand in the net. The ball's inserted from the baseline, and the defenders can come out of the net and play, and it's a very crafty part of the game. These are practiced over and over to the point of perfect execution, and it should be 1 out of every 4 corners should potentially be a scoring chance.
Typically we would like to be, a roster of 18 to 20 players. We currently have 17 players, but really 16 because we have a player that's going to be a redshirt this year.
Play in the middle. Lydia, play on the left side. The two of you guys act as if you're a midfielder.
So our season so far has been pretty exciting. We're 7-3 right now, and we're just going into conference play. We're super excited about it.
This year, the advantage, I guess, to the smaller roster is that everyone, is playing is needing to play a role in the success of the team. I think that's one thing from preseason to now that we've played some games, is the younger players on the team, realize more the urgency when we're doing some of the drills at practice.
It's good to kind of have that role of like motivating your team and really trying to get everybody on the same page.
Through! Good!
Just a lot of like spreading positive energy. I'm really big into that.
Here we go, step 2, let's force her. Good!
I think the real test will be coming up definitely in conference play. We have a lot of our kind of rivals with UNH, UMass Lowell, Albany. Really all the teams in our conference are, I think, really strong. This weekend we have Albany coming up, so that's always kind of our big rivalry.
Lost to Albany in the championship game. There's definitely a motivation there with Albany. They finished first overall last year in our conference. They're the ones that everyone is motivated to play and motivated to, try to beat.
When it's time to tackle the tough winter jobs, break through with a Fisher XV2 V-Plow. Towering flared wings deliver snow rolling action like you've never seen. Hidden obstacles are a given, but the Fisher Trip Edge system ensures the plowed snow stays where it belongs, in front of the blade. Reliable double-acting cylinders lock the wings together at the touch of a button for straight blade operation or clean back dragging.
Learn more about the XV2 V-Plow at fisherplows.com or by visiting Bangor Truck Equipment.
You support your Black Bears at the game. Now, you can support them everywhere you go. Introducing the exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings. The Black Bear debit card is free to you and supports the Black Bear Fund each time you use your card for a purchase. Just open a Red Wallet account at Maine Savings. Stop into our new College Avenue branch or any of our other convenient branches. Show your pride. Make a difference. The exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings.
Every moment, every action, every decision defines tomorrow. All your yesterdays have led you here, and here is the place where you can define tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be the first to greet the sun and the first to send it away. Tomorrow you'll meet him or her or this guy or them. This guy defined tomorrow, and so did she. This guy writes bestsellers and is shaking hands with that guy. We don't wait for tomorrow, we define it. Define tomorrow. Go to UMaine.
I think the biggest advantage we have compared to last year is that we have a lot of depth in our team. Last year we played like 13, 14 players each game. This year we play 17, 18 players.
We're 5-3 at the current moment. We made it through our non-conference schedule having played 6 games away from campus.
England as well as a shot on goal, and it is an early goal for the Maine Black Bears.
Winning with a winning record of 3-2, and I think that's a great accomplishment for this group simply because of the fact that more than half our team are brand new.
We worked a lot this summer to just become one unit and to get to know each other, strengths and weaknesses. Even though we worked out every single morning at 6 a.m., we still enjoyed it, and we knew that we had trust in the process, and we feel now that we are fit and that we are ready to start the conference.
Last year with a veteran team and a lot of experience, we were only able to manage 2 road wins. So to be able to have surpassed that so quickly with such a new group, I think it's a sign of the character of the group, and it's a sign of the kind of the cohesion that we have. So I'm really pleased about that. Without sounding too cliche, with this team being so young, you really do have to take every day, one day at a time. And I don't know that we really look past, the next day or the next game, just simply because there's so much that you have to figure out what's necessary to cover and what you're just going to let go because you just can't get it in. So I think our long-term goals, ultimately, we always want to compete for an American East Championship. But I think the way we go about it this year is we kind of break it into segments. If we finished in the top 4, that means we get at least a first-round game at home. As the season goes, if we're in a position for a top 4, then we reevaluate, and then ultimately we want to be a top 2 seed. If we get a top 2 seed, then we're in the semifinals at home. So I think we're looking at it that way, with the ultimate objective to compete for an American East Conference Championship. To talk that big initially, I think that puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves.
We are definitely super excited because so far we only had one home game out of 8 games I think we played. So we're excited to be here, to play at home, like having friends and family watching us, and yeah, we're definitely like very motivated because we had a good season so far, but like we lost the last game, so we want to get back onto the winning streak definitely, and like we have big goals this season and we want to start it off right on Sunday. I think we did a really good job of like pushing ourselves and get better athletically, and also knowing that there are no limits, that like we can push further and further, and like on our conditioning testing this summer we all improved so much, like we couldn't even imagine that that's possible, and we all improved. So I think that like broke something in our minds that we know we can go further than we think we can.
Every time I'm out watching shirts for me, you call it Stephanie, I call it Anthony. I don't open doors for I just want the neck, nothing more. Honey, make it cut and get a call. But it's time that you're making me a call.
Introducing Dunkin's new cold brew coffee, steeped slowly in cold water for small batches with an ultra-smooth, full-bodied flavor. Discover the craft of cold brew today and keep on. America runs on Dunkin'.
Free delivery. When you make a purchase at EBS Building Supplies, we simply believe that your delivery should be free, no matter how big or how small. To anywhere in our coverage area, delivery is free. We believe your materials should get to your job site or project as fast as humanly possible to make your life easier and to complete your home improvement project faster. Free delivery from EBS Building Supplies can do. Just ask.
Golden outside or fluffy inside, deep pockets or delicious ridges, tasty egg or savory bacon. Experience Dunkin's new Belgian waffle breakfast sandwich. It's not this or that, it's all of it. America runs on Dunkin'.
I'm Samantha Wagg. I'm from Australia and I play back. So field hockey at home is definitely a lot bigger sport. We have both women and men playing it, and then we have pretty much every state in our country playing it as well. We also start, like, some people started at a very young age, so I was one. I started at 5 because my parents both played, so I was naturally pushed into it a little bit. The transition between playing at home and playing here is quite different. Like, there's different styles of hockey. Like, here we focus more on like fitness, I'd say, whereas at home it's a lot more skill based, but the game it's very similar in both countries. Definitely a few of the skills, like the rolling sweep. I'd never heard of that before. It's really, really tough being so far away from home and trying to communicate with like friends and family at home. That's really one of the tough things, and having like people at home trying to watch games and that, like they're getting up at ridiculous hours in the morning to watch them, so like 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. and all that. It's really good to have their like support there, even though they're so far away. The flying is not easy either. Transition into a D1 athlete was it was quite difficult for me because I came in as like an injured athlete, so didn't have much like conditioning in before I came in, so I found it really tough. Just the amount of hours that we put in a week is just phenomenal. Like we put in so many hours of not just like practicing and conditioning and lifting, but there's also like traveling and playing, and then there's like team meetings and that, so much goes on. And that compared to at home is just so much more. Because at home we'd like train like twice a week and play a game, and that'd be it for the week. And coming here, it's like you got training pretty much every day. You have lift, and then you have conditioning, and then it's traveling like so many hours for games. Definitely wasn't used to that. The bus trips were quite a tough one at first.
The UNC game, hosting UNC on campus a couple weekends ago, was probably a big mental step for our program. For the state, it shows a big level of opponent coming to play us, and that's fantastic.
We've been talking about that game for 2-3 years, it seems. So was a lot of build up for that game, and a lot of pressure, I think, to want to perform well in that game.
It's a good opportunity where young players get to see that next level of the game. So where they're ranked anywhere from 1 to 3, they're ranked 3rd in the nation. That game is it's just a good opportunity for our program and for ourselves to know who we can play with and what level we're at.
I think like the beginning of the game, there was a little bit of a feeling out process. The speed of the players is really, one of the biggest difference. And if you're playing in a game and you're matched up, across the field with someone, then as an individual player, you have to take a little bit of time to see, how that player plays, and you might have to take a little bit of a different run angle.
It's a much faster paced game, so the passing game is faster, the scoring opportunities are faster, and it really showed our defense did a tremendous job holding their own, and I mean, a 1-3 game for scores is very good in field hockey.
After the first goal they scored on the penalty corner, it was relatively early in the game. So as a coach, that was sort of the second, part of that was how would we react. Being able to score, the next goal, to be able to make it 1-1 really did change, the momentum of the game.
It was so fun. It's one of those games that's why you coach and that's why you play. Is the atmosphere was tremendous. I think we had over 700 people here.
When it was 2-1, I would even our halftime talk, was a lot about just making little adjustments. I think how the players were performing was still going very well. I just want to try to make it a little bit easier for Casey, okay? It was in this corner, so they were going this way, and we had 2 defenders. Casey was one of the defenders, but Casey ended up coming and needing to make that tackle on the baseline. Casey is more holding the middle in case you get eliminated on the baseline, that she can then step and be that second defender. We tried to do the forwards about this, but sometimes the ball's been like at center field, and I think Lydia was one of the forwards that was in at this time. So the ball's like here. So I was calling Lydia's attention because she's the furthest player away at this point. So we're attacking, okay? So if we're trying to send balls in, we've been sending some great long balls.
UNC even commented on what a fun environment it was. So it was a good weekend, and it was fun for, you know, our in-state students that play for their state. It's a good time. It's they're proud to play here, you know. I feel like our community is a huge part of what our success has been over the past 10 years, with our program growing into being a strong top 20 program and trying to stay at that level. And we do spend a lot of time with community outreach and skills and summer camps, and our players do a fantastic job with building relationships with middle school and high school players in the area, and it really shows with the support that we get at our home games and even on the road games, feeling like we've gained a good crowd, and it's been really fun to see that development.
Your waves come crashing down. Let me feel your light. Standing here alone.
And we know it's not a 45-minute game. And we know if we're looking at this green ticket right here, or whatever color my ticket is, here, that's a required effort of 90 or however long this game goes. And no matter what happens, were we on the front foot for a good part of that half, meaning it was in our way? Sure it was. Were we on the back foot? Sure we were. Was the game in balance? Yes. And what we were able to do very effectively was manage all of those moments. When we were on the back foot, we weathered the storm. And we were on the back foot right in the start of the game. They had a great chance. No worries. All of our reactions have been great. Okay? And that orange ticket, our fear. Remember the fear? That our emotions will get the best of us. Not today. Not yet. And I'm anticipating that won't be the case. But this is right where we want to be. Okay? It's a perfect challenge for us. It's everything we want. Everything that we're going to be able to evaluate and look at the end of the game and say this is right where we want it to be. Okay? They're not going away. All right? Let's win the game within the game. Dictate where they want to go, where we want them to go, right? Let's have control. Remember what we said about the power of cohesion? Not only what it does for us, what it can do to them. Let's go out and have a great second half.
Bile controlling, puts the ball up as it goes over the head. Loftus in. Ball's loose. Loftus looking to finish it. She puts it away, and that's a main goal. As Sarah Martin sends the cross up, backside shot, and it's saved there. Good save. And more, goes to Julia Smith, who fires one on. Good save by Kabotic on that one.
And we do stuff with little kids We do things to engage club soccer. We bring teams and players to our games so that they can go out with the players and get on the game field and on-field experience. They play at halftime. So there's just so many things that we try to do to not only promote the game, but certainly integrate our great role models that we have within the team and the department to get them out there and really advertise what a great place UMaine is.
We would love to have people coming to our games, because I remember last year we played UNH in the quarterfinals, and we had the whole football team was there, and a lot of people were there, and it was so much fun. We won in penalty kicks, and that's something I will never forget. And it just makes athletes happy if people are watching and supporting each other. So just come out and support us.
Listen, you've heard the message, all right, all day, today, and last night. You're ready to win big football games. We're ready for that. We came close last week. You've been bred, right, practicing in an environment that we preach. We've made it hard on you in practice, right, to make sure we're built to win in the fourth quarter. Right, so make sure you play with that confidence, that belief that I saw on the sideline against UConn. I want to see who's going to throw back today.